I can figure that out. Left to right. What?
Sorry.
You're good, yeah. Kiki Iriafen, head coach Lindsay Gottlieb, and then Avery Howell. We'll start with an opening statement and then take questions. Flag me down and I'll bring you the mic for your question.
Sure. Thanks for coming out tonight. We appreciate that. I thought we took some more good steps tonight. I thought our defensive intensity was pretty good throughout. They posed some different challenges. Fresno State did with a motion offense where they shoot a lot of threes. I thought we took that challenge on. We really shared the ball, tried to limit our turnovers, which we did, and I think we keep going in the right direction, which is a good place to be. So, good win for us.
All right, we're going to go to
David.
Thank you. Hey, Lindsay. Congrats on the win. I talked to you in Notre Dame just about moving the ball and kind of getting, more traction on offense. You guys seem to do that a little bit better today with the ball just flowing. There's a few possessions where all 5 players touched the ball before you guys scored. Has that kind of been an emphasis for you guys since that game?
Yeah, we know the strength of the individual players we have, and if you can go get an early bucket and there's, not a ton of ball movement, I'm not going to give that back, right? Mm-hmm. But I think where we've gotten better is if it's not easy and early, then we can be really good with that ball moving side to side, whether it's a set play or it's just in flow. So we've worked on it, we've talked about it, and I think you're seeing it, come together. And a lot of it is we're learning to make reads. Like we have 2 players in particular with Kiki and Juju where there's always going to be 2 or 3 people, and so it's figuring out how to get them good looks, but also playing off of that. And I think when that ball moves and flows, we're harder to guard. Easy.
Thank you. Avery, you shot the 3 well tonight on a team that doesn't really rely much on the 3-pointer per se, and as a newcomer, how have you sort of embraced your role on this team?
I think that just like as every game goes on and we're like getting a feel for each other, it's just like being ready whenever that ball flies out. And I think our team's doing a really good job as we keep progressing and getting better of finding that next pass. If, like the coach said, Juju or Kiki has 2 people on them, finding that extra pass. So I think just like being ready whenever the ball flies out, or even off rebounds when the ball is popping out to the 3-point line, just always being ready for that next pass out to knock down the shot, especially when it gets to tight games, big games, when that's what we need to execute.
David.
For Kiki, you had 1 double-double, I think it was, in your first 6 games, and then now 4 straight. And it just kind of seems like, you're getting a little bit more comfortable, with this group here. Just kind of, what's kind of your comfort level within the offense right now? And, is it something a little more schematic, in terms of, making a concerted effort to kind of get you going there?
I think you said it perfectly. I think I'm just a lot more comfortable in what our coaches are trying to have us do, what USC is all about. So I think it's just me settling in a lot more. I think for me, rebounding is the easiest way for me to kind of get on the glass. It's kind of hard for me to make a move because I'm being doubled or triple teamed. So I think just being an offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder with Rhea as well is the best way I can help my team right now, and then just let the game come to me.
Luca.
Lindsay Rhea's been here a long time, worn a lot of hats throughout her career here in terms of her role. It seems like she's kind of evolved even more this year in terms of her passing, what she's doing defensively. How important is that to this team that, with Kiki, with Juju as primary scorers, that Rhea continues to evolve and plays that role?
She has been elite defensively. I cannot say enough about it's so much more than just the shot blocking, which is significant. She's really anchoring, she's talking, she's understanding. It's really fun to see. And in addition, I think she leads us in assist to turnover ratio. She's kind of become a secondary playmaker, has really embraced that role. Her decision making's been good. She can kind of direct out there. It's just, as a coach, the development over 4 years is, as good as it gets in terms of, feeling good about what we do. And she's just been really good. And we're going to keep challenging her to do more of it. There's absolutely opportunities to get double doubles and score a bunch too. We're not taking that away, but I think understanding, how to play off of others is making us better, making her better. It certainly makes, I think, her move up draft boards. She can play any number of ways, and it's been really impressive.
Great win, ladies. Just wanted to know, we saw that you shot 26 to 25 free throws, 20 more than it. Would you credit that to this physical game, or was it just you guys being more aggressive this time around against the team you're playing?
I mean, I think it's different styles of play. They're kind of running, 5 around the perimeter and not attacking the basket as much. And we like to get to the paint, both with our guards, penetrating, and our bigs in there, and the work on the glass puts people in under duress and they tend to foul. So I just think we did our work getting to the free throw line. They also, I think they fouled Juju on 2 threes. So with the way she's been shooting the ball, I think people are flying out her a little bit more and send her to the free throw line. So I think it was more of a byproduct of the way that we play, more than anything else.
Coach, starting the game early on, it was a back and forth, and then you guys went into a timeout. And what was those discussions early on about the defense and coming out of that, and then you guys just pulled away with it, stopping them really pretty much the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think we went to our press, which helps sometimes to generate some easy offense. I knew the offense would come. We kind of had to feel out a little bit what they were doing, find where the soft spots were, and then I think the press got us going.
How you all doing? This question's for Kiki. Can you elaborate on just obviously you and Juju's gonna get you all's points, but can you talk about just the play of Avery and how much easier do they make the game easier for you all?
Yeah, I think 1 through 15, anybody on this team can get a bucket. So it's like I have so much confidence and trust in all my teammates, especially my freshmen. Like I think Avery is the most talkative, vocal, energetic freshman that you could ever see. I listen to her just as much as I listen to the upperclassmen, so she's someone that I can always rely on. If I'm getting double, tripled, I'm gonna make sure I pass the ball out to Avery. But I think she's someone that's always been consistent for us. She works very hard. She's running to the glass even as a guard. So I think she's probably one of our most consistent players, along with Rhea.
Lindsay, there've been a few times this year kind of in blowouts where you leave Kiki, Juju in until the last kind of few minutes. Is there ever concern just about preserving them for injuries kind of later on, or is that kind of done with the intention of let's try and get as much flow as we can kind of heading down into the latter portion of the season?
Yeah, there's always a million things to think about, and I'm probably always thinking 2 or 3 different things than anyone might think. We have a new team together. There's a lot that we need to continue to grow with. So, and I've said this before, that other people might say, hey, it's time to put this person in or that person in, and I might need to make sure that Avery knows a specific look for her that she needs to hit with the starters in, because that might be what we need to make to win a championship at some point, right? And so there's a lot of things we're thinking about. We play a lot of different combinations. Sometimes we want to play 4 guards and get a look at that. I like to see Clarice with the starters, because that's different than playing with the second unit. So there's a lot of things we're managing. Obviously trying to get minutes for as many people as I can, but the number one thing is to win the game and to get us better, to be able to win every game that we possibly can, and that's usually what's top of mind in terms of those things.
Amanda, and then what? The one question after.
Let's talk about the defensive energy,
Yeah.
and what's kind of your evaluation of it as you prepare for going into the Big Ten?
Yeah, we're getting better and better. I'm sure we'll find, mistakes tonight even though we held them to 40 points, but that's what we're looking at in terms of our progression of being able to guard different types of things, different styles. And you mentioned Avery's shooting, and we know she's a great shooter, and we are a better team when we make threes, everyone is. But there was a point in the game where she was doing something and talking and switching where just the staff said, we say it like, dang, she's gonna be so good. Because you see the growth, especially young players. Like, it's their first time with scouting reports. It's their first time, different styles every night. And even some of our veterans, Kiki's doing different things than she was asked to do in her previous, years. So I liked the intensity. I liked the intent. I thought we saw a real intent at Oregon to guard a good team. And I said that can't just be a one-night thing. And so I thought some of that carried over tonight, and that'll continue to be a calling card for us. We think we can really score, but the great teams can score and keep other people from scoring. So going into the Big Ten, we want to just be able to have everything in our bag that we can stop: a perimeter team, a post team, a transition team, an execution team. So just got to keep getting better and have an effort on it every single possession.
Last question, anyone? All right, we're good. Thanks, everyone.
You good?
Oh, wait, you have
Oh,
to
that's
start.
fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see.
Sorry, Jim.
I think the talkative for Avery. I think being talkative, like Kiki talked about, was that something that you've kind of always been? Was that like when you first stepped on campus, and then maybe Lindsay, you can attest. Has that always just kind of been in your nature when playing basketball?
Yeah, I think like since I was younger playing basketball, I've always just been really loud, outgoing on the court, and then like leadership was pretty big, and then like obviously it's a completely different role being a freshman in a really good program with a lot of great players. So I think that it's definitely changed, but I still always try to be loud on the court, talking, because I don't really think you can like over communicate. So I think since I've been here, it's just definitely been super outgoing and talkative.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, and she would tell you, in the recruiting process, there were all these other things that came before shooting, right? There was a point in her, I think it's worth a story, I've never seen such an elite player. There was at one point in recruiting where the shooting would have been the weakness. Like the thing that people said, oh, Avery Howell's gonna be really good if she gets 3-point range. Literally, it was all the other things, the toughness, the ability to play off the bounce, just, a complete player, talking. Those are intangible skills. Like talking is an elite skill that not everyone, you think everyone can do it, but certainly as freshmen, it takes a while, and some of it is being able to understand what's happening in front of you. But it just, teams are better when there's good communication, and she's a really good communicator. I think I knew that I knew that was a characteristic, but the fact that it's come with her right to college as a freshman is pretty unique.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank